trackers. We got another Sabayan 1 video for you. So in this one, we are showing you the finishes that you're going to be working with Sabayan 1. So we're going to go through the scenario. Again, we'll do this one with a partner all the way through. So we're going to take the different options that you worked on in the last video, and in this one we are going to show you really how we end the fight. We're going to show you the finish, we're going to show you how to gain control and what your options are. So stick with us, let's get to work. So adding in the finishes for Sabayan, so the flow drill that we did in the last video is really not what you would want to have happen in a real life fight. So we're not going to just keep repeating this. There's never going to be a time where somebody attacks you with a stick and you're just looking at each other, and then all of a sudden we just start going into the flow and just working, wow, yeah, I'm going to get you, and we just keep on going through all the different right, and that's not the way this goes. Reality is that this flow is built on commonality. So when Mrs. G, she comes into thrust, I come after, right? So this whole idea coming in with this thrust here is to actually hit her, to cause pain, to make her flinch, right? But I'm making her flinch, and then naturally this is the most common attack that they're gonna come afterwards, especially if when she thrusts, I end up on the inside here. So then when I go this way, the next thing she's gonna do is come at me with this strike. So I can use anything to defend that strike, whether I do the belly cut, whether I do the cut pass, or I go stop, cut pass, or even the ride through where I'm coming this way. But once I get one of those, then I want to gain control of the most dangerous weapon, which is the stick. Again, I do got to worry about the legs in the other hand, but I always want to gain control of the most dangerous weapon first, right? These are going to be able to hurt me. This is going to be able to kill me. So I want to control the danger, right? So once we gain control, we want to then control the rest of the body. So we control the danger, then we control everything else. So with this one, let's say I use the cut pass. So she feeds, I'm going to come in one, attack with the puño two, and then I'm going to cut past the arm here. But what I want to do is I don't want to lose control of this hand. So, and again, a lot of times this person is going to want to pop their hand out of my grip and get it back over to the other side, because that's the more natural side to attack from. So naturally Mrs. G is going to want to circle that hand back to the other side, because that's the natural, as we're going, right? So if I'm feeding Mrs. G, 1, 2, when she passes this hand, right, again, I can come from this side, but that's going to be more advanced kind of practitioners. Most everybody else is going to want to get their arm back over here to come in with a thrust, or even another big hit this way, right? So that's kind of what we're aiming for, and it's kind of what you were forced to train in our drill. So when she feeds, again, I'm coming this way, I come back with the puño, I'm going to cut pass, and as I'm touching the hand, I can feel her trying to come to the other side. So what I want to do is control that stick to the other side and catch on that shoulder, right? From there, what I want to do is take the puño, and as I control this shoulder with the empty hand, I'm then going to put my stick over her neck. So my forearm is going right on the back of her neck, and then my puño is going on the side of the neck. So this actually allows me to gain a whole lot of control over her body. Her structure is broken, and I'm able to hold here. Now, from there, I can hold, and I can come through, and I can hit with a whole lot of knees. Once I have this control, I can come back with my stick. I can hit on the way down. I can release and hit on the way up. I can do takedowns from there. There's a lot of things that we can do. So, once again, right, we'll actually switch sides just to get a little different angle. So when she thrusts at me, I'm going to move to the side, coming in same defense as the flow drill. I'm gonna come at her. I want to attack at her with that puño. I want it to be something that either makes her flinch or even makes her move back a little bit. And then as she comes in, hopefully this is gonna be kind of a Hail Mary because she's already gotten hit a couple of times. So she's coming extra big, I cut, I pass, and then I feel that arm going to the other side, so I wanna control it and try to get it back behind her as far as possible, right? This is a very weak position for her arm. Then I'm gonna let go, and I'm gonna bring my hand up, and then I'm chopping down. So as I chop down, I wanna turn a little bit so I can make her move. That's gonna break the structure, get her lower, and then from there, I'm gonna kind of grab the side of her neck with my puño, holding on nice and tight, and then what I like to do is just grab my forearm. So now I get what we call a figure 4 lock. That is going to allow me to hold on extra tight, really strong here, right? Now, in this position, most people here, they're not gonna like this position. Mrs. G's being pretty nice, just kind of being there, but most people are gonna be fighting, they're gonna be bucking, they're gonna be moving, but this, I have good control of her, so even if she's bucking and moving, right, and then a lot of times that's just gonna help me to knee them in the face even harder. All right, so one more time. She's feeding at me, 1, I'm coming at her, 2, and then I would go cut pass, bringing that arm back behind. I raise the arm as I chop it down, catching behind the neck, grabbing my own forearm, and then here is where I have that control, right? From there, I can do the knees, right? Again, this hit on the way down, especially if I'm coming to the back of the neck, this is an easy knockout, right? Or again, I can actually start to let her raise back up as I come and I hit her across the face there. So, that's just doing it with the cut pass, right? But let's do it one time with all of them. How does it work? So, I can do it with the belly cut. So she comes in, I defend, I attack, I belly cut, control the arm back, raise the arm, chop, catch and control. We've already done the cut pass, so let's say stop cut pass. So she attacks, I come in, here, I stop, I cut, I pass. I'm now in that same position. I would just then again bring this around, get it behind her, lift, chop down, control, and lock. Hit with the knees, whatever I want. The ride through is a little bit different. Same kind of motion, but again, only my stick is touching the hand, so I've got to ride through with the stick and then re-engage my hand when it's appropriate. So when she attacks, I'm 1, 2, I do the ride through, and then as soon as the ride through happens, I'm gonna come back and feed that around, getting into that position here, catching the neck, grabbing there, got the control. So, when you're doing this one for the curriculum, you get to choose which option you're going for. So, the way that we'll be drilling this in class is like Mrs. G just fed for me a whole lot, so then I would change it and I would feed for her. So she would get to choose whichever option she wanted, so when I thrust at her, she gets to come through there, and then when I feed the angle 1, she goes belly cut. So then from there, she's gonna latch it, bring me around, locking and tight, right? Boom, hits the knees, right? And then now it'll be my turn again. She feeds, and say this one, I want to do the ride through. So I ride through, control it, get the angle, lock it in, work the knees, okay? So that is our finish that we're doing for Sabayan 1, is whichever option you want, but then getting in, gaining the control, getting the puño on the back of the head, and getting that figure 4 lock. And then we will be showing you how to do the knees. We'll even show you a few takedowns while you're in class. So, alrighty y'all, finishing up our little stick training Sabayan video. We are gonna be adding the finish, but in the flow. So, once you get it down, just like we did in the last section, where if I'm attacking Mrs. G, I go here, she's gonna do whatever defense, and then immediately come on in and get that good control, right? And practicing the basic version of the partner drill. So then again, it would be my turn, right? I do whichever one I want, but getting into the control right away. So now what we want to do is kind of do it out of the flow. So the way that this one works is whoever is the defender first, you are going to get the finish, but you're going to do the entire flow before the finish. So if, let's say, Miss G's attacking me first, and I'm defending first, then again, I'm going to be the one that will do the full-on finish technique, gain the control, and the drill. So what happens is she attacks, I'm going to defend, right? I go belly cut. Now she gets belly cut. Then I'm going to get the cut pass. She gets the cut pass. Now we do the stop cut pass. Here, stop cut pass. 1, 2, and the ride through. 1, 2, and the ride through. And then now this is where I get to do the finish, right? So I chose to do the stop cut pass, but you can do whichever one you want. So now I did it. Now I'm going to attack Mrs. G. We go through the full flow, but she gets the finish this time. So I attack first. She starts with the belly cut. I get the belly cut. She gets the cut pass, stop cut pass, stop cut pass, right through, and she finishes. So then it'd be my turn again. So as we do this one, it is just about being able to combine the drills, so you're getting more repetition on the flow drill and you're getting that repetition into the finish. But really this one is about reaction building. So being able to, in a real fight, most of the time when we're doing it as a partner drill and you're just going through and doing the finish right away, so I'm coming at her and then she's just going into the finish. Right? A lot of times we just kind of take our time, right? There's a lot of relaxation in that, where you're like, okay, so you attack, and I go here, and then, all right, I'm going to do the ride through, control it back. So we can really take our time. When we do it with the flow, all of a sudden, especially when you get good at the flow, you're starting to move really fast with your partner, and you really get to see if your reaction is fast enough. When you get to the finish, can you get there quick and gain that control? So it really kind of shows you where your weakness is. So we're going to do it one more time, this time without talking, and both of us will get a turn to get to the finish. We're just going to go through the entire flow, right into the finish, again, at a little bit faster pace. So if I go first, Mrs. G's turn. So again, I chose the ride through, but again, when it's your turn, you get to do whichever one you want. So now I attack Mrs. G. Ooh, bonus. Got my stick stuck back there, yeah. All right, so again, just an example, but like I said, helps you to train reaction, keep you really fluid into that finish. So we'll be training that a tremendous amount in the class, but in any case, thanks for training. We'll see you in the next one.